Hey guys, my name is SparkScore. I'm a professional video marketer, musician, and writer. And today I wanted to talk to you about a little thing called mimetic theory and how you can use it to your advantage as a creative. There's this quote from Charles Bukowski where he says, "The worst thing for a writer is another writer." And that kind of puzzled me for a bit because I thought, well, if I'm a writer, I want to surround myself with people who are doing writing, so why would I not want to be around other writers? But it's because Charles Bukowski had an understanding of this thing called mimetic theory, at least on a subconscious level he did. I don't think he knew it by that term. But more specifically, what he's referring to here is something called mimetic rivalry. In this video, I'm going to kind of break that down and also how you can use mimesis to your advantage. So as artists and creatives, we naturally possess this desire to be original, to be authentic, to be wholly unique. We also naturally possess this fear of people imitating us, people biting our style. I mean, how many times have you heard rappers say, "Oh, so-and-so stole my flow," or "Oh, well, I was wearing that first," or whatever. I mean, I'm sure in school you had people who were like, "Oh, I was the first person to start wearing this kind of shoe," and then everyone started wearing it. It's kind of annoying when people talk like that, and it's for good reason that that's annoying. It's not an entirely unfounded fear, because as a creative, your whole idea is, well, you want to be differentiated. You want people to go to you instead of the next guy, and so you think, well, how can I stand out? I need to avoid being imitated. And so we need to ask ourselves, what exactly is this mimesis thing? And why should we fear it? And how can we use it to our advantage? As children, we learn by watching the people around us. We imitate the way they talk, the way they walk, the words they use, their mannerisms. And that's how we learn. We inherit our culture via imitation. As individuals, it's not clear what is valuable. And so we look to our families, we look to our culture, we look to our tradition in order to sort of derive a sense of meaning, a sense of what is valuable, what is desirable. This looking to others is called mimetic desire. We want what other people want. I'm sure you've noticed this in your personal life. Maybe there was someone you weren't all that interested in, and then all of a sudden everyone in the office starts taking interest in this person, saying, "Oh, she's cute," or "he's cute," or whatever. And then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, actually, maybe they are a little bit cute. And what would it mean if I was able to get with that person and people could see me with that person?" In this case, we're imitating the desires of the people around us. This is especially true of people who at least appear to us to experience some sort of like fullness of being. People where they seem like really confident or really charismatic, or like they have everything that we would want. These people are called models. Or mediators. They're the people who we primarily get our sense of desire from. In some cases, we can come into contact with these mediators. We get close to them. Sometimes we are chasing the same goal as our mediator. They perceive our desire for a thing. We perceive their desire for that same thing. And it creates this infinite loop where we both want the thing very badly and we both want to deprive the other of it. In the case of two videographers, it could be, oh, we're both at this punk rock show and we both want to have the best footage. We both want to be the person that this band calls to come shoot their next show. And so we're going to be sort of elbowing each other out trying to get this really good shot, right? And so as creatives, it becomes all too easy for us to get sort of caught up in this web of mimetic desire, and especially mimetic rivalry with other creatives. It causes us to chase things that we don't actually really want deep down. We're just convinced that we want. It causes us to act in strange ways and causes us to think pathologically. It causes us to be paranoid. It causes us to sort of lose our sense of identity. And these things are crucial for creatives. I have another video where I talk about how, as a creative, being aware of yourself and being aware of others and just the flow of culture, this is kind of like your main life source. As a creative, mimetic desire, mimetic rivalry, these things are especially threatening to you because of the nature of your work and our work. Think about it. The whole idea here is to be seen as the most creative person, the person who has done what has not been done, the person who has created what has not been created, the person who no one seems able to imitate. having an awareness of mimetic rivalry and being honest with yourself when you are feeling that or you're getting engaged with that, that is the first step in maybe preventing it from escalating, in preventing yourself from acting not like yourself. And so as a creative, an awareness of this mimetic rivalry and an honesty with yourself about when you're feeling it is really crucial, and also is going to, set you apart. And it's going to help you kind of take a step back anytime you start to feel yourself, getting swept up. The main idea here is that being aware of who exactly you are mediated by gives you a choice to either accept or decline that mediation. It's a fool's errand to assume that mimetic desire can be resisted outright. Like, oh, well, I'm just going to only value what I value, and I'm only going to want what I want. And no, it's not. I mean, it's an inherent part of human nature. And so the best thing we can do is just use that to our advantage. And so the way we use mimesis to our advantage as creatives is to first take a survey of what your personal values are right now. Chances are these values are derived from other people. You're probably right now in the process of being mediated by God knows how many different sources, but that's okay. Just take a survey right now of what it is you want, what your personal values are, write them down somewhere, and then we're going to go from there. The second is to look at these values and ask yourself, who is it exactly that displays these values? Who am I being mediated by? Who do I feel a sense of competition with? Who do I feel a sense of rivalry with? Who do I want to show up at work? Who are my idols? Who are my models? Who are the people I respect? Who are the people that I look up to? Who are the celebrities that I obsess over? These are all really, really, really good guides when you're trying to identify who your mediators are. Once you've identified these mediators, ask yourself, if I were to become 100% like this person, would I be happy with that? Would I like that? What parts of their personality do I not want to take on? Try to really remain conscious of when you are and are not imitating aspects of their behavior. The second is join some groups that share common goals with you. I know the Bukowski quote says that the worst thing for a writer is another writer, but that's really only the case if you feel like creativity is a zero-sum game, which it never is. I mean, it quite literally never is. If another person has some great invention or some great work of art, that's awesome. That's like one more cool thing that exists in the world that we get to benefit from. I hope as many people as possible are creative and more creative than me. That's a wonderful thing. Joining groups of writers, if you're a writer, musicians, if you're a musician, photographers, videographers, whatever. Joining groups that share similar values and similar goals with you will act as a sort of positive mimesis. It will almost via some sort of magnetic pull sort of inch you closer to whatever your goals are without you even really having to try. I mean, it's just going to like sort of happen naturally because you're around all these people who also want that thing. The next thing is to just totally renounce your desire to be recognized. I know this is pretty much impossible, but if you're able to, just try to say, you know what, I don't care if anyone reads my writing. I don't care if anyone listens to my music. I'm just going to be content to do this thing rather than be seen as a person who does this thing or is good at this thing or whatever. Once you detach your fulfillment from being and put it on doing, then the win condition is a lot more in your hands. If you will start practicing this, if you will start really trying to apply these principles and start becoming aware of mimetic desire in your life and in the lives of those around you, you will find yourself far more in control of your emotions. You will find yourself far more in control of your path to the degree that those things are possible. And it definitely is a process. Okay, it's going to take some getting used to, but I know you can do it. Be conscious of who you're imitating. Surround yourself with peers who you want to become more like. Develop a tribe of mentors, a tribe of influence. Intentionally imitate those people who are worth imitating. Submerge your identity in this process, and then you will find yourself coming out of that far more creative, far more original, far more authentic than you otherwise could have been had you just, stuck to this idea of my self-expression, bruh. Miles Davis said it best when he said, it takes a long time to sound like yourself. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for today. Check out the newsletter below. Peace.